Do your parents encourage you to read novels? Is that a good question? Come on, let's just share your thoughts. This is actually good, you know, you have two screens. I always thought, why are these people not looking there? I've got this little screen. Okay, what's wrong with this question? Or rather, can we improve this question? Until and unless somebody dies, you have two parents. What if one encourages and the other one doesn't? We always don't see this. Right, parents will be two people. Right. I don't do half of the things that my wife does. You know, for example, she scolds the children. I will not scold the children some more. It's like double impact. So I'll be the nice guy. So parents are two people. Right? And another one is that if you're asking reading as in general, you shouldn't put novels there. Right? So maybe books. So even words are very important here. But if you actually mean to ask novels, it's okay. Right? So parents is something that we always overlook. And these are a lot of them. And it becomes double barrel. Because it's two people. This one. By the way, each sentence may have more than one thing that you can actually correct. Siblings, more than one person. Okay? Siblings would be brothers and sisters. What's MNP? Yeah, some people know actually, you know. Some people know and some people don't. Some people pretend not to know. So, don't assume that people all will know the same acronyms. So acronyms are very dangerous. They can mean a lot of things. You know, I've actually just joined Asia University, and this morning I just had just enough time to get here because the president was giving the first talk, and he was talking about 7 meanings of e-learning. The E there has 7 meanings, so that we don't go outdated. So you see, even the word E can have 7 meanings. So E can have 7 meanings. So any acronyms, be careful. They can have more than one meaning. And then you can have people who've been in the same area and yet forget what they mean. You know, I mean, it's something like, for example, in KLMU, we used to call Program Development and Review, PDR. So anything to do with program development is PDR. Another place will call it differently, and they have a different acronym. So be careful of that. So here, how can you improve that? How does your head teacher, does your head teacher discourage you to read books that are not related to school subjects? No, double negative. That's double actually. Does your head teacher discourage books that are not related to school subjects? How do you improve that? For this one, I've got to ask, how do you improve that? How do you phrase it?
Does your teacher encourage you to read books that are related?
Encourage, okay? So discourage replaced with encourage. How does your head teacher encourage you to read books that... Yes. Does your head teacher encourage you to read only school-related subjects, books related to school subjects? So forget about, try to move that negative to the positive. So this is, we can do it for most of the things that we do. So this is another example. Do you read childish books? There's one thing wrong there, that word, but what's wrong with that? Yeah, what's wrong with the word childish? Yes, negative. The one that we talked about, negative connotation. Even if you do read those books, you don't want to say you read. Okay? Okay, so another word is that, what do you call childish? It's not clear. What is childish to you might be different to me. Okay, so you have to be very specific. You know, for example, even comics may be adult comics. So, you know, it's very different. So what can you do with that? To be clear, you might actually describe books that are suitable for children, or written for children. Do you read those books? So that's another one. What about this one? Last one. Do you read the encyclopedia that oh sorry, forget that I didn't. Do you read the encyclopedia like the top students do? Sorry? Yes, it's assuming that most top students read encyclopedia. That's already wrong. What else? It's leading, isn't it? If you want to consider yourself top student, then you're talking about having to say yes. Maybe you read the cover. So it's leading in the sense that you actually say that top students read encyclopedia. Do you? So then you're talking about leading questions. So it's quite easy for you to actually make these mistakes, especially in interviews, but you can control this in questionnaires. Okay? In interviews, it's worse, I tell you. Seriously, I can tell you a lot of stories about interviews. One was quite nice in the sense that the interviewer asked a question, the interviewee answered, and the interviewer, it was quite a controversial answer, but the interviewer actually cannot hear, so what did you say? No, actually, you know, they actually changed their mind. You know, the interviewee had to change his mind, thinking that the interviewer did not like the answer. It does happen. So questionnaire, you can actually control all this. So do control in this way. So we're talking about double barrel questions, we're talking about double negatives, we're talking about leading questions, we're talking about very unclear kind of questions. So these are things that seem to be okay. In fact, if you look at them, you see they're okay questions, isn't it? But you know, especially the parents one, nobody actually got it. Okay, so produce easy to analyze data. So this is the second one. We want our questionnaires to actually produce easy to analyze data. First of all, the answer options. Okay, one of the prominent questions that you have to give, and the answer must be yes or no, is, do you love me? But a lot of other things, there's always something in between. Right? In fact, you know, with some people, when you say, do you love me or not, the answer is all. Okay, so yes, no is only for certain very specific ones. You don't want them to be in between. But most of the things, to be fair, you have to actually give something in between. Okay, so it's got to be appropriate to the question. Open-ended questions are more difficult to analyze, but are more revealing. So the first you have to decide is, do you want it to be open-ended or closed-ended? Okay? With a lot of things nowadays, you can actually present closed-ended questions